WXII 12 News at 6:30 on the Triad CW starts now.
Tonight at 6:30, Mothers Against Violence. How parents are working together to protect their children in the Triad. Plus, how Triad firefighters are making sure that your kids are safe on the road. And later, weather systems across the country are leaving heavy damage. We'll show you the latest look and if the Triad could be impacted. Good evening, I'm Louis Tran. Thanks for joining us tonight. Mothers across the Triad gathered today to make sure that their kids are safe. In Greensboro, organizers held a protest against gun violence. People say that something needs to happen.
Y'all, we gotta go back home and start from the drawing board. We gotta do something. This is craziness. Our children are killing each other.
He pulled out a gun and shot my dad. You know, they gonna resort to guns. Nobody wants to learn the hard way. Nobody wants to take a tough beating and take an L. Guns is part of life. You know, it's the people behind it. You know, it's the influence. You gotta influence people to the way to use them. Gun safety, gun training.
The event was held in downtown on Green Street. In Winston-Salem, police are investigating the city's first vehicle death of the year. It happened last night on southbound Peters Creek Parkway. That's near Clemensville Road. Police say that when they got to the scene, they found a man dead. Police identified that man as Joel Pack. He was 42 years old. Investigators say that Pack was crossing the road when a Ford Explorer hit him. The driver stayed at the scene and cooperated with police. This is Winston-Salem's first vehicle death of the year, compared to 2 for the same time period last year. And North Liberty Street is officially back open after a crash today. Winston-Salem police say that the road was closed off between New Hope Lane and East 17th Street. The crash caused many in the area to lose power. There were no reported injuries. And to keep children safe on the roads, the Kernersville Fire Department is offering car seat safety checks. The free event was for parents and caregivers. It took place at Station 42 on Highway 66. Organizers say that the best way to protect your child and limit injuries and possible death is to use age and size appropriate car seats. The first opportunity was today.
We always want to reduce risk in our community, and not just here in Kernersville, but all the surrounding communities. And as a job as a firefighter, when you go in a wreck, the last thing you want to see is somebody hurt, and especially a child. So this is a great injury prevention program, and that's why it's kind of near and dear to our hearts.
The fire department will be hosting more events like this. The next one is on May 20th. Each event runs from 9 in the morning to noon. For more details about the upcoming events, just visit our website at WXI12.com. Greensboro police need your help tonight to find a missing woman. Maya Johnson, who's 21, has been reported missing since last night. She's 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighs about 160 pounds. Police say that she has a cognitive impairment. Johnson was last seen wearing a white t-shirt, black sweatpants with pink on the side, and black and white Nike Air Force One sneakers. If you know where she is, you are asked to call police. In politics, there's a new bill that's aiming to ban TikTok across the country, and it's gaining national momentum in the House of Representatives. Lawmakers are concerned about how the social media app is using data from users. And a number of lawmakers are also concerned that the company may be sharing that information with the Chinese government. Christopher Salas joins us from our Washington bureau. He has the latest.
The clock may be ticking on TikTok in the United States.
We should get off TikTok right away.
This week, the House Foreign Affairs Committee passed legislation that would empower the president to impose a nationwide ban on the popular social media app if it's confirmed that the company is giving user data to the Chinese government.
I think there is strong evidence that TikTok is working with the CCP and sharing that data.
TikTok says it does not share user data with the Chinese government, saying a ban on the app would be, quote, a ban on the export of American culture and values to the billion-plus people who use our service worldwide.
This is really a dangerous precedent, but it's moving really quickly.
In a letter to Congress, the ACLU says the legislation is vague and overbroad, and it would violate Americans' First Amendment rights.
This is not the way the U.S. should operate.
More than half of all U.S. states have already partially or fully banned TikTok on government devices, and the White House is giving federal employees 30 days to remove it from their devices.
We have been clear about our concerns about TikTok, apps like TikTok, and certainly our concerns with countries including China as they seek to leverage digital technologies and Americans' data in ways that can present harm and risk to our national security, clearly.
And the Battle of the Blues is back for part 2 of the season. Duke and North Carolina are going to tip off this evening, and there's a lot at stake for both teams. Our John Johnson has a preview of what's at stake for tonight's game.
We're here outside the Dean Smith Center here in Chapel Hill, where North Carolina and Duke meet for the second time this season. Both teams really needing this basketball game tonight. From the Duke perspective, the Blue Devils coming to this game looking to sweep the season series against Carolina for just the second time in the last 4 seasons. You go back to 2020 from the last time they did it. Oh, by the way, this game is also huge for ACC tournament implications. It could solidify them as a top 4 seed and earn that double bye. Now for North Carolina, this game is huge because they only have but one quad 1 victory all season. They need this game against Duke. It'll give them their second, but even that might not be enough to get in the NCAA tournament. So obviously huge ramifications in this game for both teams as Carolina and Duke battle each other once again right here in Chapel Hill. For now, reporting outside the Dean Smith Center, John Johnson, WXII 12 Sports.
All right, thanks, John. And today at the Greensboro Coliseum Complex, a few legends from the ACC met for the first time since 1974. 49 years ago, North Carolina State and Maryland's men's basketball met on the court. If you go to our website, stars from both teams share their memories of the classic Wolfpack win. And today, North Carolina A&T State University held the Find Your STEM Conference. The event is aimed for young girls in grades 8 through 12. It was co-sponsored by the Joint School of Nanoscience and Nanoengineering, and also the Greensboro chapter of the American Association of University Women. The event included a panel discussion with science experts and one with STEM undergraduates. It also had breakout sessions on different topics.
In regards to STEM, it is something that impacts all of our lives. If you want to be involved in it, one of the key things, especially as a woman, and as a woman who happens to also be a minority, is to make sure that you're prepared to get that education and to follow your passion.
It's more to learn, and it's really exciting. And I've learned how to be a young lady, and I've learned how to use science, engineering, mathematics, and technology in my everyday life.
I love that. Organizers say that the JSN uses nanotechnology to find answers to society's most significant issues. All right, if you went outside today, you definitely felt it. It was a warm and beautiful day. So let's check in with Jacqueline Shearer on what you can expect for this weekend. And Jacqueline, I understand you also went to that STEM conference.
Yeah, I was there. I got to talk to some of the girls early in the morning when I was on the panel and got to learn more about them and talk to them throughout the conference. They are just so intelligent. Some of the projects those young girls are working on are so impressive. And that girl you heard from, she's in 6th grade, if you can believe that. So really cool event. And it was a beautiful day for it. But take a look at this. I bet you were hoping I would step out of the way so you could see this beautiful sunset shot. We're looking at Blues Lake right now, and man, it just couldn't be more perfect. A gorgeous shot here. Temperatures are overall pretty mild and we're dry, which is nice because we had all of that rain yesterday. We're grateful for a break for today and tomorrow, and really much of the work week, almost until the very end, we stay dry. Temperatures are right around 60 degrees throughout the forecast area. We're at 60 on the dot in Winston-Salem, 58 in Greensboro, 59 in Lexington, and 60 in Burlington. Overall, it's very comfortable, and as we head through the next few hours, we stay pretty comfortable with winds at 5 miles per hour in the Piedmont Triad. So it is, of course, getting dark, but if you wanted to fire up the grill, you're in good shape to do so. We're still kind of at that time of year for another week or so where, of course, we've got those early sunsets. Looking out at the foothills, clear and calm, but cooling down overnight, becoming quite chilly. And in the mountains, winds are calming down to 5 to 10 miles per hour, which is still a slight breeze, of course, but it is a big improvement from how we started off the day. We're going to take a closer look at when our next rain chance is, but we'll also talk about the rain totals and some of the storm reports from yesterday coming up.
All right, thanks, Jacqueline. Today, Senior Services held its 13th annual art show and sale to help feed people who need the extra help. The event helps Meals on Wheels. The program provides nutritious meals to older adults who are not able to make their own food.
Today we're here at Senior Services with our 13th annual art show and sale benefiting Meals on Wheels. Senior Services exists to help older adults in Forsyth County remain in their homes for as long as possible, living with dignity and aging with purpose. And Meals on Wheels is the program that's critical to that mission. We're serving right now about 1,100 older adults here in Forsyth County. It's been around for 60 years, and we recently celebrated the delivery of our 7 millionth Meals on Wheels meal here in Forsyth County.
For more details on how you can help, just head to our website to find out more. The number of cases of colorectal cancer in younger adults is rising. That's according to a new report from the American Cancer Society. But there are ways to lower the risks. Mandy Gaither has more on ways you can protect yourself.
It's the second leading cause of cancer death in the U.S., and about 1 in 5 colorectal cancer cases are now happening in those younger than 55. And those numbers rose about 2% per year between 2011 and 2019. The American Cancer Society points to screening rates.
Colon cancer screening is not just finding a precancerous lesion, but it's actually taking it out before it turns into cancer.
Oncologist Arif Kamal says there are higher rates of colon cancer screening in adults 65 and older.
We see the opposite story in people who are 55 and younger, where there, the colon cancer screening rate is as low as 20 or 25%.
There are 2 ways to be screened, a colonoscopy or an at-home stool test. Both start with a visit to your primary care provider, who can help determine your risk and which test is right for you.
Any person who's 45 or older needs to call their doctor today and get that colon cancer screening scheduled.
If you're at high risk, it may be recommended you get screened earlier. Kamal says you can also reduce your risk of colon cancer by living a healthy lifestyle. That includes eating a healthy diet, watching your weight, being active, not smoking, and limiting alcohol intake.
Get colon cancer screening, live a healthy lifestyle, and then I think will dramatically decrease the risk of colon cancer.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Experts are recommending that more women have their fallopian tubes removed. They say it could reduce the risk of ovarian cancer. According to the National Cancer Institute, last year, about 20,000 women in the U.S. were diagnosed with ovarian cancer. More than half of those diagnosed died. The Ovarian Cancer Research Alliance says that there isn't a reliable screening test to detect the early stages. Advocates are suggesting that women at a high risk of ovarian cancer consider salpingectomy, the surgical removal of both fallopian tubes. Still ahead, deadly weather this weekend. Systems across the U.S. have left at least 13 people dead. How California is bracing for even more snow.